Remember when they said turmeric was supposed to be like a miracle? For years, it was basically sold to us as a cure all, anti inflammatory, antioxidant, gut healing, brain boosting. People were, putting it in smoothies, putting it in lattes. It was in capsules. I mean, you name it. They said this was it. We're going to do this all in the name of better health. And then this month, that changed. Now, the headlines say that it's no longer good for you. So, new research, including a study from Northwestern Medicine, now shows that turmeric supplements, especially in concentrated doses, have been linked to toxic hepatitis. So, that's basically like liver damage, right? So, people thought that they were doing something good, but then they were ending up in hospitals with failing organs. So I want to talk about turmeric because turmeric isn't the only wellness substance to fall from grace. Actually, if you zoom out and you start thinking about products or foods throughout history, you'll notice a pattern. We love to declare that things are healthy until they're not, right? So science, culture, marketing, they say with certainty like this is good for you, right? And then it's followed by regret later. So let's go back. Actually, in the early 1900s, there was an actual tapeworm diet pill. Yes, that's exactly what it sounds like. A pill filled with tapeworm eggs that would then grow inside of you and help you lose weight by basically stealing your nutrients. This was real. And it was advertised, with these dainty women and these corsets and with these, marketing messages like eat what you want and still lose weight. People obviously got ill, some died, but at the time it sounded pretty scientific and trustworthy and, like a shortcut to health and dieting. Kind of sounds familiar, like some things that are going on today, right? Now, let's fast forward a few decades. This one is always comical. Doctors were recommending cigarettes, smoking, yes, to help with digestion and anxiety. I think the ad said something like more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette. Obviously, we now know that cigarettes are the leading cause of preventable death. But back then, smoking a cigarette was basically considered synonymous with like wellness. Even something as ordinary as eggs got caught in this crossfire. So for years, eggs were demonized. Oh, cholesterol, avoid the yolks, all this advice, right? And people did. They were like, I'm just going to have sugary cereal or dry toast. Now nutritionists say eggs are good for most people, right? They have a lot of protein, vitamins, healthy fats, and the real villain is the ultra processed foods, not that humble egg that we thought. Then there are so-called clean alternatives that people really jump on the bandwagon with, like artificial sweeteners. Back when they came out, they were praised. Oh, they help people lose weight and manage diabetes. They're under scrutiny now for disrupting the gut microbiome. It causes cravings. It triggers all these metabolic issues. Like even these organizations, they advise against long-term use of non-sugar sweeteners for weight control. So it was pushed, oh, let's use these. It's a great alternative. And now, we find out that's not the case. Let's look at something else like tanning for vitamin D, right? But back when tanning beds came out, like the message was clear. It's like the sun, right? Because sunshine boosts your mood, makes more vitamin D. So let's go into a tanning bed. And it was marketed for a while as like this safer way to tan. Now we know it's a group 1 carcinogen, and that's basically the same category as asbestos and plutonium. Here's one of my favorites, antibacterial soap. So, these were really popular at one time. It was like the better, cleaner option. But actually, we now know that these products, especially these ones with what's it called, triclosan, right? They don't actually work better than regular soap. In fact, they're actually linked to hormone disruption, antibiotic resistance, and environmental harm. So the FDA actually banned a lot of the key ingredients in those antibacterial soaps. But for years, people were sitting there scrubbing with it, thinking that like, oh, it's going to protect me, not realizing that it could actually do more harm than good. These are just a few examples, right? And a lot of times we feel betrayed by science, by the brands pushing these messages. And trust me, this is just the beginning. I'm sure we'll see a lot of this. I don't know if it's just that the science was wrong or they were lying. I don't know. But what I do know is that all these healthy habits that we think that we're doing now, like those, I don't know, weight loss shots and things like that, they can be actually dangerous. And we'll come to discover that later. But I think the real takeaway here is get more comfortable with the idea that this stuff is going to be complicated, and don't trust everything. There are no magic pills. There are no miracle roots. And I think that we need to balance, and we need a little bit of healthy skepticism, because I think if history teaches us anything, it's that these wellness trends are going to come and go, but regret is going to stick.